We live. We are live. We are back. This is the Over 30 Podcast.
What's going on? Over 30 Podcast.
Did y'all miss us?
I think they did. How was your turkey day? How was everything going? What is
Y'all
going
still celebrating
on?
that colonizer holiday? You know what I'm saying? Let
Yeah,
us know what's up. Y'all still celebrating with the colonizer? Yeah, I mean, so
man.
we'll give it time for people to come on in. Let me go ahead and get the music so we can
Let
get
me
that crack
go and make people aware of my
of what we're doing.
presence. Yeah,
Yeah.
our presence. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so as Tisha does that, I'll get the music started so we can create the vibe for this evening. We both had family last week. I still got family here. My mom's and my sister still out here. Still waiting on my son to come, so he should be here any day now. Uh, but yeah, man, it's the Over 30 podcast. This song right here is entitled "Protect Your Soul." Is interesting because what we talking about today is we talking about soul ties. We getting it in about soul ties. And then for those who don't know, she gonna, you know what I'm saying, Tisha gonna break it down. The Over 30 holistic expert. Let me go and get this audio shared real quick. Shout out to the homie. But we talking about soul ties today.
I'm feeling better today. Thankful I'm much more awake. I need
This is
space. I think
PYS
I was
Protect Your
feeling away.
Soul. What
It
y'all know
wasn't
about
always so great, but
soulmates?
shit wasn't always so great. Let
Karmic
me explain.
partners.
I'm from a place where it's kill to be killed, or not for a night.
What else you got? You got twin flames.
Want more, and that's why we live. That plus oppression and
We
poverty
learning.
lines.
We learning. Matter of fact, Tisha sharing hers. I'm gonna go ahead and share it on my Facebook. As y'all come in, y'all say what's up. Hit the like button. Hit that share button. You know, we about to be getting into the conversation soon enough.
Came and spat in our face, despite the fact that we facing the plague. Suffered enough through them slavery days. Suffering still, should never change. Niggas get killed, niggas in chains, broke on the wheel. Just look at the news. Hanging from trees, look at the noose. Exodus signs reflecting the truth. Children of Jacob collecting was due. Word to the wise and even the fools. Open your heart and learn to improve. You can undid the shit to undo, so learn to forgive.
And then let me know what y'all think about the music, man.
Inside that's holding you close. Till next time, I let one go. Strengthen your mind.
Shout out to the homie Ben Kenobi.
Protect your soul.
Let your mind be free. Regardless what they choose to see, strength comes from
we just getting this shit. Like I said, as soon as y'all step in, hit that like button.
Take your time, find peace. Stay true to who you wanna be.
Y'all know what it is. This is the Over 30 Podcast. Tisha, she be back in a second.
I always been different, I know it.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm special, I'm glowing. Showing if I show up a shogun. It's killing them, knowing it's showing. I'm weaving the hate like a sewing. It's freezing these days, it's snowing. When it all turned so cold, or was it just me? And I never noticed all of this evil is tough for the focus. All of this suffering getting me anxious. All of these problems that I want to solve, but know that I'm lacking the tools, patience, voice, money, and time. I hate it. Sit back and study what God created, praying that there really is a life after death. Faith will grant salvation. Reading the pages of Book Revelations. How does it end? Looking for clues. Feeling like Steve, that's where the blue shit is the breeze. That's where the Drew kid in my city was killed on the 4th. He was 11. Fuck do we do? We don't come together. I promise we'll lose the spiritual war. What side do you choose? Righteous or evil? The choice up to you. Word to the wise and even the fools.
Yeah.
Open your heart and learn to improve. You can undo the shit
Soul
that undo. So
tie.
learn to forgive and learn to remove the demons
That's what we
inside
talking
that's
about
holding
today.
you close. Till next time, I let one go. Strengthen your mind, protect your soul, protect your soul.
Let your mind be free.
We'll give Tisha just a second to get back up in here. When she get back up in here, we'll get it cracking.
Strength comes from the valleys, not the peaks. Take your time, find peace. Stay true to who you wanna be. Salvation comes from those that believe.
Look, cause everybody know about, you know what I'm saying, soulmates. Everybody, we done all heard the term soulmates. Yeah, I mean, that's the very generic, the very basic soul tie, the commercial soul tie. But what y'all about to learn is it goes much deeper. It goes much deeper than just that. You know what I'm saying? Well, we about to learn. We going through this process together because I am learning as well. Shout out to the homie. Tisha is back.
Oh man, I am truly, truly, truly sorry, people. I was having some malfunctions myself, but I'm back. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I am Tisha, aka Infinite Omniscient, your spiritual life coach, holistic expert, educator, and speaker. And this is the Over 30 Podcast. We
This
are
is the Over
in.
30 Podcast. I am her co-host, the political plug, Damo. And today we have a very, very, very interesting conversation. Very interesting
Very
conversation.
into. We
Now,
are
as I
in.
was saying previously, we do have the holistic expert Tisha Marie, and with her being a holistic expert, what that makes her is someone that we rely on, that we trust when we get into these conversations of not just the physical, but the metaphysical. You know what I mean? The science of love,
Yes,
because it's a generic term that
absolutely.
we use. We just throw it out there. We just say love this, love that, because it's a strong feeling. If we got a strong feeling for a motherfucker, it's love. It's love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's deeper than that, though.
It's deeper.
You know
It's
what
so
I'm saying?
much deeper. It's a
It's
lot of
deeper than that.
byproducts of love. So yeah, we getting it. We got to get into it. We got to get into it.
So to go ahead and to get it started, I let's go ahead and give us a brief introduction of what do you mean, Tisha, when you say soul ties? What are we talking about?
Okay. Oftentimes, in a more seriously in connection in life, we often or we might be familiar with the term soulmate, but people don't understand that you have more than one soulmate and you have different categories of soulmate. So, um, people have to understand us. We are infinite beings. We are spiritual beings. We are just having a human experience. I'm sorry, battery. Oh gosh, I'm gonna need a charger in a minute. But we are having a human experience. So we are experiments and we're just souls playing roles. So we have many, 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 many lifetimes. We have many life cycles. I oftentimes associate life and our life as a movie, two things as a movie and school. So if you think of a movie had a lot of sequels. We have Fast and the Furious. They
I was
had
gonna
a
say
lot of
Fast and
sequels, right?
Furious.
Or we have the Saw series and all those
I
things.
ain't say, yeah, yeah.
So those movies have different sequels. So that is just like your life. Your life goes into cycles and sequels of each thing. So you will know more and more and more about life. So in those life sequels, you will meet a person at the beginning, at the origins of your life, that probably won't come in into the fifth cycle of your life. That person is
Fifth
called
season.
a soulmate, or somebody that you have a soul tie with. You
Mm,
might not meet that person in a particular life cycle or movie sequel, but you will meet that person sometime. And oftentimes, people think that in a particular lifetime, you're going to meet your soulmate. Let's take Oprah, for instance. Oprah, probably on a carnal mindset, thinks that she do not have a soulmate. Everyone on this earth has someone that they have a soul tie with, whether it be a twin flame soulmate, a life partner, or a karmic partner. You have one, but Oprah probably don't believe she do. Now, Oprah probably has a soul mission in this particular realm, on this dimension that she was meant to do, and it doesn't involve her meeting her life partner on this in this particular life cycle. But
okay.
she might meet her soulmate two life cycles from now, because she
Okay.
do indefinitely have a life partner or soulmate, twin flame. She
Okay.
do have someone she shares a soul with. She has someone that is yin to her yang. She has someone that is masculine to her feminine. She
Right.
has someone to connect with, but it might not be in this life cycle. So people oftentimes think that it's supposed to be on this cycle, it's supposed to be in this realm. It might not come into the fifth season of that or the fifth sequel of that movie. It might not
Right.
come until that, because you have a mission and a contract on this in this realm, on this dimension, that you were supposed to execute, and it might not be in this cycle. So and
So
also
so like
to
so when it
associate.
comes to the soul ties, everybody has somebody who is one of those. You know what I'm saying? Like So is it like, for
Everybody.
example, because we about to go through a list because there are
Mhm.
multiple soul ties. With that list,
Absolutely.
are you saying that we all have somebody who we attach to, or there's this other soul or other entity that fulfills
Yes.
one of those roles for everybody?
Absolutely. Everybody on this earth, in this dimension, in this realm that you see and come in contact with has a masculine or a feminine energy to match. It has a yin and a yang. So,
Mhm.
if you want to get down to the story, it's said that you were born with one arm, one leg, and the other person was born with one arm and one leg, and you split,
Mhm.
and you grew your own limbs and you split, and in life your whole life is supposed to be cycling back to that person. So
Back to that person.
it might take different life cycles, different times, but you're supposed to circle back to that person and you're supposed to become whole again.
Mm.
So you're basically split, and you're supposed to go through all these changes and challenges to evolve whole again and come back center, whole, and to love. So you have all these things to dissipate in your life, like environmental influence, traumas, abandonment issues, daddy issues, mama issues, hurt, pain, agony, all these things
Right.
that you're going to have to experience until you become whole again. And then when you come whole, you elevate, like in school, you graduate to another level. You graduate to another level. So your
Mm.
ultimate goal is to become whole again because you're half now. And to come whole is to meet and one with your soul mate. Your soul mate is anybody that you share a soul with, whether it be a twin flame, karmic partner, a life partner, and a
Mm. So you
or
so you can occupy multiple. So your soulmate and your twin flame could be the same thing,
can be. Your
or your
soulmate and your twin
soulmate and your
flame
karmic partner could be the same thing. Or
cannot be the same thing.
those can. Ooh, we learn. Okay, it's nuance. It's
Cannot be the
nuance.
same thing. So
We about to get
your
into the nuance.
soulmate is different
That's what I was
from
gonna say.
your
Let's
karmic
start with
partner.
that one. Let's start
Okay,
like
let's
so essentially, again, this is for, I told y'all, brothers, if y'all listening. Cause look, like, the funny thing about it, teachers, I'm starting to see a lot of memes associated with the concept of niggas asking their mama when was they
ah,
born. I'm seeing
I
a lot
see
of
that. I
memes. There's a
see
lot of memes
that.
like, "Hey, mama, when was what time was I born? Leave her alone,
Again,
son. Leave her alone."
yes, yes, it's elevating to that. And we're coming into the full evolution, especially women.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So
here, you know what I'm saying, as a brother that's that's trying to be a liaison. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bridge that gap for the brothers who's not paying attention, because niggas
mhm.
is kind of slow. You know what I mean? So for the brothers that's not paying attention, uh this I soul ties are connections that we have with other
From past
souls
lives.
that transcend
Absolutely.
our current, the current space-time continuum. I'm gonna throw some
Yep.
sci-fi language. You
It
know what I'm saying?
transcends and from different life cycles, different lifetimes, and different life patterns that conducive to our growth.
Mhm. Okay, now it's four of them, right?
It's four of them. It's different byproducts of a soul tie. So it's different ones. And it's four major ones, but
Mhm.
it's other ones that play a role in your life because your life is just basically a soul playing a role. So it's gonna be different types of reflections of you that you're
Mhm.
gonna have to experience. So it's four major ones. Yes.
So getting into the major ones, let's start out with the one that most people are familiar with, and you've already kind of touched on a few things associated with that one, and that is the soul mate. The soul
Mhm.
mate. That's the first soul tie we're gonna talk about tonight. The
All
soul
right.
mate. Tisha,
Soulmate. All right.
give us
So
a
basically,
describe the soulmate soul tie for the people.
all right. So I like how you did that. All right. So personally, from my perspective, a soulmate soul tie is it differentiates from all the other soul ties because this particular one is more of the beginning. Oftentimes people think that a soulmate is someone that you spend the rest of your life with, or someone that you share a soul with, that is supposed to be an intimate union, or someone that you're supposed to marry, or it can be your masculine or feminine energy. That's so far from the truth. A soulmate can be your mom, your dad, your your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend. A soulmate don't necessarily have to be an intimate partner, first and foremost. Secondly, a soulmate don't necessarily have to be just one. It can be many soulmates. You don't have to have one soulmate. Now, very
Now
much
that's
so,
new. Now that's new. I ain't never heard that. You can
yes,
have multiple soulmates.
you can have multiple soulmates. Soulmates is just someone that you share a contract with that's going to be conducive to your growth and healing in this lifetime. A soulmate can show up in different lifetimes and different life cycles, or it can show up at the same person in the same time, same cycle because you haven't completed the contract.
Got
Um,
you.
so soulmate, your soulmate. For instance,
So when
when
you say, let
you
me ask you this though, real quick, before you go forward. When you
okay.
say you haven't completed the contract, are you saying like you haven't reached that level of spiritual growth or
Thank you for asking that. That's really important. So basically, you had made a contract with this person in another lifetime, in another space, on another dimension. And oftentimes we don't grow from this. So oftentimes people have to realize that death is the way that you can go out from a soulmate. And then if it doesn't resolve any issues or past issues, you may have to pick that up in another lifetime to actually resolve that issue.
mm,
Oftentimes you will see that
that's baggage on another
case
level.
in
God
point,
damn.
yeah, is baggage from another lifetime. And it might be you entering another life cycle and meeting back up with this person to continue it or to finish it or to resolve it. So you have to
Ooh.
understand that your contract may transcend to different life cycles. So you have to learn the lesson from it. And the lesson in it oftentimes includes healing and growth and evolution. In order to
Mm,
see those things, you have to identify and know the characteristics and attributes of that relationship to know what it is, to differentiate the different types of soul tie it is.
right.
Soulmate energy is a lot different from other energies, but um,
So soulmate energy is different from karmic partner energy.
absolutely a lot of differences in that.
And soulmate energy, can it work synergistically with twin flame energy?
Absolutely. Now you can have your twin flame and your soulmate can be the same person.
The same
It can
person. That's what
definitely
I
be the
think I
same
ran
person.
into. I think my twin
Yeah.
flame. I think my wife is my soulmate and my twin flame. But we'll
Yeah,
get into that when we get into
absolutely.
twin flame though.
Absolutely. But okay, so your soulmate is basically someone, it feels new. It feels like this is something new. They're gonna teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to touch base on this. You can and will have some of the same characteristics for all of the soul ties, but is ways to differentiate the soul ties and compare and contrast. So
Mm-hmm.
soulmate is a new feeling. Somebody that's gonna teach you things, somebody that you can actually learn from, somebody that you can evolve with. Somebody that involves a battle of intuition and spiritual,
Mm.
someone that's going to grow you spiritually, someone that can make you dig deep down into your core and want to bring out, someone that you are willing to change and heal for,
And you
someone that is
and that growth, like from your perspective, that growth doesn't always mean like um a great does that growth always look like a great flourishing relationship? Could it be
no, it's always
conflicting? Can it
yes,
be
it's gonna
antagonistic?
every relationship you're gonna enter into is gonna be challenges. It's gonna be hardships. But a soulmate will be a lot more easier. It'll be a lot more new. It's like a beginning of a cycle. It's like a beginning of something. It won't be too much of a tug and pull. It won't be too dramatic and too tumultuous, but it will be enough
But
to
it feels right
basically,
though.
yeah,
Whatever it
it
is,
will
it feels right.
feel definitely right. It
Yeah,
won't
okay.
feel like you are at the wit's end and you're ready to jump off a bridge or you're ready to bring out the darker side of you. Soulmate energy is a
Mm-hmm.
lot more harmonious than the other ones because it will basically teach you and you will be willing and receptive to learn from it. It
Okay.
won't be a pull and a tug like other things. And it won't be things and synchronicities and divine interventions that play a huge role in that to make it
Mm-hmm.
harmonious, like to make it havoc, to make it hard, to make it challenging. It would be more harmonious to make you feel like I want to stick around, I want to stay in this, I like this person. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're intimate with. It can be
Anybody, yeah.
anyone that's
Yeah.
here to teach you because it's just like the first life cycle. If you
Like some best friends and just people that you just
yes,
close to. Yeah, okay.
yes,
Okay. And I think
absolutely.
I think that's interesting in terms of understanding the soulmate, because generically, in a very commercial aspect, we take the soulmate and we kind of we just attach it to the love of your life or
Hmm.
whatever,
We do. We do.
and so it's like, yo, that's my soulmate, that's my soul.
Hmm.
But then you have family bonds or best or friendships that also play that role, but
Uh-huh.
because we have this overly commercialized understanding of it, we we,
Hmm.
we kind of run towards the direction of, like, just this one form of love. Like, my soulmate has
Absolutely.
to be somebody that's interesting.
Absolutely.
That's
But
interesting.
in
That's
also,
that's next level.
also, oftentimes in a soulmate relationship, you will feel like you want more because oftentimes in a soulmate relationship, you still have to experience life. So I want to bring this out. I want to make a point where you can meet your soulmate in one time. Say, for instance, you met your soulmate in first grade. 30 years pass. You have dealt with so many soul ties. You circle back around and you meet your soulmate. You become reacquainted with your soulmate, right? So when you become reacquainted with your soulmate, you guys end up marrying and being harmonious, all of that. So you may come in contact with your soulmate in some time in your life. Like, it's a picture where a woman took a picture in Japan in front of a statue, and a guy was standing behind it, and he was also taking a picture in front of that same statue. So 3 4 years passed, they actually
Oh, I
met
know
up and
exactly what you're
married.
talking about.
Yeah, so she came in
Yeah,
contact, she was in close proximity with that soulmate, because when it's time for you to meet your soulmate, your soul will identify it. You will know it. It will be subconsciously, super consciously embedded in you, and your soul would identify it before your carnal mind would identify. Your conscious mind won't identify it, but your soul will. So they knew they was going to connect one day, and they were in close proximity because it was almost time for them to meet. When they did meet, they connected that situation. So that's just how it happened, and has happened for me just like that. And you will know your soul will identify a soulmate. It will identify it.
that's crazy. Let's talk about that, identifying it. Um, you kind of briefly already touched on it a little bit in terms of pointing out what a soulmate look like. But
Hmm.
what, like, if you were to say like three key characteristics associated with identifying a soulmate, what
Hmm.
would those three key things be?
That's a great question. Great question. So first and foremost, it will feel like you've known
You're
that
giving great
person.
answers, by the way. These are great answers. I agree, but you're also giving great answers.
Thank you. Thank you. First and foremost, you will feel like you've known that person for many, many lifetimes. Many lifetimes.
So it's a
It'll be,
familiarity. There's a
yeah, you'll feel
familiarity. Yeah.
familiar. And it's not a familiar on a carnal, minuscule level. It's a deep connection with that person. You will feel like you've known that person. One conversation, you'll be like, man, this person reflects me. This person feels like me. This person feels normal, feels comfortable for some odd reason. That's because your soul is connected with that person. It'll feel harmonious. Secondly, you would have a connection instantaneously. Like, it's not a "Ah, I'll figure it out," or one person on one end is not sure, and the other person, it won't be a pull and tug. It'll be a connection instantaneously. It'll be a connection. Both
Okay.
know. You both will know. So oftentimes people come to me and tell me I'm their soulmate. I say, well, listen, if I were your soulmate, my soul will also identify your soul, because I am not in charge. My soul is in charge of me. I am just a
Right.
vehicle. My
Yeah.
soul is
One
driving
one
it.
person, nigga. You can't be the one to say that,
Yes,
nigga, I'm your soulmate, nigga. My soul gotta know
absolutely.
too.
You have
If
to,
my
your
soul don't
soul
agree,
will
yeah, yeah, then you
identify.
wrong.
Yes, your
Yeah.
souls will connect. Your soul has a deeper connection, a deeper contract. So they're gonna know. Like I said, they definitely don't know. It'll be a subconscious no, even if it's a pull and tug. But that's another relationship and a situation. We're gonna get into that. But thirdly, I would say to identify a soulmate relationship, um, I would say it was more of a an intuition. Your
Mm,
spiritual values and your intuition will expand. You will have
mm-hmm.
this expansive, deep connection with this person, and you'll grow spiritually. So, in that soulmate relationship, oftentimes it's for you to learn, and that person will teach you. So, that person, or you will be teaching that person. There'll be a give and take of teaching and elevation. It wouldn't be a stagnation or irritation or pulling tug or not no growth, no progress. It'll be elevation. So you'll feel like you're growing with that person. You'll see yourself with that person year 1, and then year 5. Oh my God, I've grown so much. Oftentimes in other relationships and soul ties is not like that. There's no progression. It's very
Mm,
stagnant. This
yeah.
relationship, you grow. So those are the 3 key points identifying whether or not you're in a soulmate relationship.
So let me ask you this now. Now that we know, those three, because those are great benefits to be able to say, like, it just seems like it's automatic.
Mhm.
What are some of the toxic traits associated with
Toxic.
um your so, because I mean, when I say toxic, I mean that's just a what we call a millennial word for
Hmm.
unhealthy,
Hmm.
right? I mean, because
Hmm.
and too much of anything is a bad thing. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So
Absolutely.
so when I say toxic, it's not that the soul mate is toxic, but there are certain things that
Hmm.
we kind of attach ourselves to, or that we allow to happen because of that soulmate relationship. Because I could see, like, your intuition relying too much on it could get you in a little bit of a trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, this feels
Absolutely.
too natural.
Absolutely. Yeah,
This
it
is too
feels too natural.
easy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And,
So
and
what are some of
that's
the
and that's one of the really key points, because oftentimes as human beings we want more, and that's one of the things in a soulmate relationship. You will want more because you feeding, and that person feeding your spirit so much, your spirit gets hungry and it starts wanting more and desiring more. And when you desire more as a person, you got to kind of look for more, and it's going to cause friction
yeah,
between that. So that's one of the things. Oftentimes in a soulmate relationship, the
motherfuckers be
sex
getting
is not
obsessed?
the sex is really not good.
Ah,
Because of, yeah,
damn. You know?
and
So you
that's
saying
only for
soulmate sex ain't good? That's crazy.
soulmate sex is not oftentimes not really good. But like I said, if your soulmate is your twin flame as well, which it can be, it can. Oh my God, it can be amazing. It
It
can
could be
be
amazing.
powerful. Oh my God, so many things:
Yeah.
chakra balancing,
But man,
kundalini
so just
awakening.
but if you just got this, but if you just with your soulmate ain't
Because
really
it's
the one to
teaching
put it on
you.
you
It'll
like
be
that.
new. Yeah, it's a teaching.
Okay.
So it'll be
Okay.
so new. It's just basically you're learning. So your soulmate is supposed to teach you. So when you're teaching, it's probably
Right.
going to be you're learning how to do
Right.
something as opposed to being pleasurable and having fun with
So
it.
brothers, it's not game. It's not
It's
game to be
all
like soulmate.
spiritual. Yes.
It's not game to be like I'm your soulmate. You don't want to be the
Now,
soulmate,
if
especially if you're
it's
on
a
some.
twin flame, it's different.
Yeah,
But we're gonna get to that.
we
But
gonna get
yeah,
to that one.
that's one of the things. And obviously, we know if the sex is bad, it can bring some toxicity in the
It can bring a lot of
relationship. It can
toxicity.
just
Yeah.
definitely, and also it can run very dull. It can be dragging because, like I said, you will be looking at this person as, okay, I've learned what I needed to learn from this situation. I kind of want to elevate and move on. That's only if it's just a soulmate. You will want to elevate. People think that a soulmate, now soulmates can last forever. It could be transcending through all lifetimes, or it could be for
Yeah,
one
some people could put
lifetime.
up with mediocre sex. Some people
Yeah,
could do that.
it can. And like I mentioned before, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person that you're intimate with. And if it's not a person that you're intimate with, some of the things that you can identify in a soulmate relationship, if it's like your friend, your mom, and stuff like that, you will
Mm,
grow tired of situations. You will need your breaks. You will want to go in and out and run hot and cold and stuff like that. But it will still always come full circle back around, because this is the person that you have this particular contract with. So it
right.
will also be very harmonious and growing, but it can be like times where you want to take your breaks from it. You know what I mean?
Right. So
So
that's
it,
so
it's
when we
one of
talking
the
about,
more it's one of the more harmonious ties than the other ones.
so
So
it could become
soulmate,
it could become monotonous, and that's the
yeah,
part
it can
that's the
definitely
part of the
become
problem, is that when something
absolutely.
feels so natural and you just kind of just do it and you kind of go along with it,
Hmm.
it loses, like, that newness feels
Yeah,
good, but
yeah.
then ultimately it
It
it kind of it
it
gets
dies out.
stale. It gets stale.
Absolutely. I
So
think
that's
so
something to
too.
look out for when you dealing with your soulmate. And
Absolutely.
remember, man, some of your best partners may be your soulmate, bro.
Yeah,
And niggas
definitely.
ain't gotta be on no
That's
gay shit and
conducive to your
other shit.
growth. Yes.
Yeah, like
That can
if you got
elevate
that
you.
homie that's like, yo, that's just my nigga from day
Right.
one. You know what I mean? These
Right.
are the type of relationships that we need to understand. Like, yo, it's bigger than just
Right.
like, I mean, yeah, that's my homie. It's not no, you
Yeah.
know, no romantic shit. But
Right.
like, yo, this is my partner that's been my
Yeah.
partner through decades, or not even through decades, but
Absolutely.
through
Absolutely.
lifetimes.
I've
You know
I've
what I'm
I've
saying?
met my soulmate before in my lifetime, and it never was an intimate partner. My best friend is my soulmate. I strongly believe my best friend is my soulmate. She's a female. I'm super heterosexual. She's a female, and we literally get along so well. And she taught me so many things, especially spiritually. She came into my life and transformed me spiritually. I never knew all that I know now if it wasn't for her, and she's taught me, and we
Okay.
elevated. But we also took our breaks. We also had our moments where we were just like, so we had our toxicity too, but we also it was more harmonious than all my other relationships because that was
But
my soulmate.
but so
So
we got so that's soulmates. What's next on
absolutely,
the now? The last one we're gonna do is karmic partners because that's the strong. You know what I'm saying? Like that is next
absolutely,
level.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
after soulmate, which is the next one you think we should touch on?
We should talk about twin flames. That's the
Twin
one of the
flames. Let's get into it.
popular ones too. That's one of the more
Okay, so I first heard about twin flames. My wife came to me and she had recently started. And again, teacher, this is why I was like, when I first peeped game and saw this is what you own, I knew to listen to your ass because the shit that my wife was on. And I'm like, yeah, like really. And my wife is like
absolutely.
very, she's corporate America. I'm usually I'm more the hip, you know what I'm saying, hippie, hipster,
Hmm.
into the, all the other shit. Like, and she's
Hmm.
usually like she's the business degree, you know what I mean, all of the other shit.
Hmm.
So it's like for her to be like, she's research, she's checking my horoscope. She came to me and was like, "You my twin flame." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Wow.
Like, yeah, you
She
my twin
said
flame.
you're a
Like
twin
it
flame.
finally makes sense because
Absolutely.
it was so thick. It was a lot of similarities that we had that became problematic. So
Oh,
go
wow.
ahead and explain to the people when we talking about a twin flame, what are we
Twin
talking about?
flames. Ooh, twin flames is my favorite because it's a huge misconception with twin flames. Oftentimes, people confuse twin flames with the soulmate relationships, although it can be simultaneously both. However, oftentimes we have just that, a twin flame. Now, twin flame is different, but I want to touch on that. But also, I am so sorry, people, and this is literally not like me, but I need to get my charger because my battery is about to die. Um,
Nah,
my
go ahead,
phone is
handle
about to
that.
die, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be back in like seconds. Like count to 10.
All right. So as y'all saw, Tisha is she gotta go get her charger. She will be back. Y'all will not be stuck with me. But I mean, I see y'all in there. We got a few people in here. If y'all have any questions about soulmates or twin flames, because that's what we've been touching on so far, please put them questions in the chat. Shout out to the homie. We got Letitia Miller then commented so far. The homie Nate G. If you still watching, bro, I remember the conversation that we had OU Texas where you was breaking all this down. Best believe we're gonna have you on the show so here soon. But in terms of when we talk about this twin flame, these soulmates, this shit got a lot more meaning to, you know what I'm saying, to it than what we be giving the credit to. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of times we reference this language and reference what this stuff mean, and we kind of throw it around willy nilly. But man, like it's a lot of relationships outside of just what we consider our romantic relationships that have value that mean something. You know what I mean? Friendships ain't just whatever. You know what I mean? Familial friendships ain't just whatever. Like I feel like it's those people that though that where that shit is just easy. Those friendships are easy. Things just go. I mean, those are the things where it's like, yo, that's something deeper than just that's just a homie or whatever else. And this is what we getting into. You know what I'm saying? This is what we getting into. So shout out to everybody that's been in here. Make sure again, if y'all haven't already, hit that like button, hit that share button. You know what I'm saying? That's how the show grow. More people get to see it. You feel me? And if y'all believe that Tisha is dropping knowledge, man, share the video. You feel me? We'll give it a second for her. Like again, she just charged. She plugging up her phone because I'm learning with y'all. I'm learning with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I am back,
But she back in the game.
people. I'm
She
back.
back in the
I'm
game.
charged up spiritually, emotionally, and physically with my phone.
Look, I'm charged up. What from a beverage alcoholically. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, this is the rest of that holiday Douce. My family came into town. I don't drink Douce, but my stepdad brought some Douce. And I was gonna make sure to kill it for him. I wasn't gonna waste his money.
Best
But
song yet
again,
out.
if you are watching and you ain't hit that like button, if you ain't commented and said what's up, go ahead do us a favor and do that right now. But Tisha, let's go ahead and get into it. You are describing twin flames. Let's talk about twin
All
flames.
right, people, we are on twin flames now. Now, twin flames differentiate from all other soul ties or soulmate connections because, like I mentioned before, soulmate connection is just many people or spirits or beings that you connect with or connected with in different lifetimes that you have a contract with that you support that's conducive to your growth, self love, evolution of who you are and what you're meant to do. So, twin flames. So, twin flames it has a huge misconception because oftentimes people think that those are the people that you're supposed to be with. That is the person that is supposed to be the person that I marry and I came full circle with to be that with that person. Um, you have you that's so far from being true. But you can marry your twin flame. You can marry anybody on this earth. If you have that contract with that person, you can marry. Or that twin flame can be someone that kills you, or it can be someone that gives you some terminally ill disease or
Disease.
something.
Yeah.
That can be your twin flame. So it doesn't not necessary, but it's always conducive to your growth. It doesn't have to mean something in this lifetime, but it would mean something in some
Mm-hmm.
other lifetime in some other way. So twin flame. To identify a twin flame, you have to understand that it is instantaneously a connection. It's going to be something that's instant, whether it be money, a family, a child, uh, whether it be the sex is great, powerful. It's like a connection you never had before. Now, a twin flame is your soul's mirror. So it's a
Mm.
reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
So soulmate side by side growth. Twin flame reflection. Mirror, your soul's mirror. Someone that you see yourself in, someone that you
Mm.
identify yourself in, someone that you say, man, somebody that can finish your sentences, someone that can bring out the spiritual aspects of you that you knew you had in you. Someone that knows you like no other, or you know them like no other.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that you have passion with like no other. Soulmate, you really don't have that much type of passion because it's all about growing and learning. Twin flame, I already know. You're already there. It's just your mirror in evolution. So you're mirroring somebody, you're reflecting somebody.
Okay.
And twin flames is you
Now what does
obviously
what does that mirror look like there? So are you when you say like you're reflecting somebody, are you talking about like are you reflecting characteristics, attitudes?
attitude, characteristics, growth, spiritual expansion, transformation, expansion, everything that you have learned throughout life. Because the spirit, so oftentimes your twin flame will show up later in life. You can meet your twin flame early in life, but that's only because you have done something in another life and finished a course in another life with ties. But
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes in a certain lifetime, you come with, and face to face with your twin flame, and you identify all of what you have known when you have came full circle with yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
you meet your twin flame when you have learned certain things or you have expanded to another level. And it shows you your characteristics, your spiritual expansion, your transformation. It shows you your aligned chakras. Your chakra is going to be aligned with that person. You're going to feel your heart chakra, your sacral chakra, your root chakra. Everything is gonna spark and ignite all the chakras inside of you. That person, like I said, you will see so much of yourself in that twin flame, but it can be very toxic. It can be very on and off. It can run hot and cold. It can, because you see yourself, you're learning yourself. You still, everything is always learning, but you still will learn so much about the twin flame. Oftentimes twin flame have a deep, one of the identified is a deep sexual connection. You will have a connection like no other. You will be like, man, I want to, this person gets me on a different level, gets my body, open up things in me that I've never been opening, I never had before, I never experienced before.
Right.
They're
So
familiar with
so
me.
the one that made you into that freight.
Actually,
That's what you're
yeah,
talking
and
about.
it's
The one that made you into that freight. That's your twin flame. Your twin
yeah,
flame
like a
showed up and said,
yeah,
it's something in you
yeah, it's
and you
something
don't even
about
know it's in
you.
you. Let me
It's
show it to you.
spiritual communion of two
Hey,
people.
twin flames can be toxic as hell.
Yeah, it releases endorphins in your body. It's a spiritual communion. It's actually spiritual transformation. It actually shows you who you are. But that connection only happens when you meet the person that mirrors you, and that's your twin flame. Um, People think that your twin flame is somebody that's supposed to last forever, but your twin flame is basically someone that just mirrors you and that you can also learn from and heal from and grow from too.
So
But
it's not really about any type of duration. Like you just you ran into that soul that's
excellent. That's
similar
so to
in its makeup.
yours.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. It's
So let
just
me
a
ask you this.
similar.
You said you can have multiple soulmates, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Can you have multiple twin flames?
You cannot have multiple twin flames because you gotta understand you're talking about a twin. So you can
Mm-hmm.
only have one twin. If you have more than
Oh,
one twin, it's not a twin anymore. So your
got
twin
you.
flame is your yin yang, your masculine and
Okay.
feminine.
Okay.
That's
So it's not
all it
even
is. Your
necessarily
balance.
okay. Now okay, I'm starting to understand it now. So it's not even necessarily a question of um like a direct copy, but more so like when you look in the mirror, like your right hand is their left hand. You know, or your right hand is your
Exactly.
left hand in the mirror, and then your left
Mirror,
hand is
yeah,
your
and
right
the
hand in the
reflection,
mirror.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay.
You're a mirror reflection. There we go. It's a mirror like reflection.
Yeah.
So,
So it's
um,
you, but in the other side. You know what I'm saying?
opposite
Like
side.
it's still
So
you, but it's the other
yeah.
side. Yeah.
So what is it like the art, the little masculine and feminine? They have the two faces. That's
Right.
your twin. So in art,
Right.
that's your twin, and they have it's two different faces, but they actually mimic each other. And
Right.
you see it oftentimes with art and music and stuff like that. They have those two twin faces,
Right.
and it's
That, that's
basically
why I think
who
that's
you're
why I think the
learning from.
term like calling it like your twin flame is like your reflection. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
I think that's a because like we don't really see ourselves like you look in the mirror, you take a picture and you kind of start to point out things
Hmm.
about you that you like this that
Hmm.
things that you don't really fuck with.
Hmm.
But then you but when the thing about the mirror though is again you're getting yourself reflected back.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
a lot of times it's like shit, you ain't ready for yourself. Goddamn.
Exactly.
It's a lot of
You're
people that
not.
don't like people that act like them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And then people oftentimes confuse twin flame relationships with something that you have to be with or you're supposed to be with. No, you have other relationships that you can have in your life that is, you know, beneficial, more beneficial to you than your twin flame. But also, your twin flame can and will be here forever, whether it be in spirit or physical. They will be around forever because that is just your soul's mirror.
Got you. I think yeah, that's crazy. All right, so let's talk
Whether
about
they
again.
leave and come and go as whatever runs hot and cold, they're still always going to be around. You're going to run into them, whether it be this lifetime or another lifetime. You're eventually going to run into
Yeah,
them.
you're gonna run into their ass. Um, but again, let's go ahead and get into the three identifying characteristics
Three
of the twin
identified.
flame.
Okay, good. Good question. Three identified characteristics of twin flames. One is passion. That's the first one you would know. It includes
So
passion because you're
so
gonna
when
have
you
to.
interact with your twin flame, it's a spark. It's passion
It's
there.
passion. It's going to be a
Got you.
sexual passion. Now, twin flame is always your other half of your energy. So if you're a woman, it's going to be your masculine energy. If you're a man,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be your feminine energy. I
Mm-hmm.
there I'm heterosexual, but I always believe in balance of nature, balance of universe, balance of spirituality. So feminine and masculine, yin and yang. So it's gonna be a yin yang. But with that energy, it's gonna bring about great passion because that is what's gonna ignite and resonate with you and your spirit to know that this person is matching you. And the only way that that person match you is to identify, and the only way you can identify is that increased, intense, extreme passion between you two. I'm talking
Mm.
about the sexual nature of you two. It's increased, intense, it's intensified, it's something different,
So
it's
is your
something out
twin
of this
flame
world.
always the opposite sex?
Yeah, it's always because it's gonna be your
Ah, it's
your energy. So if you're a woman, it's gonna be your masculine. If you're a man, it's gonna be your feminine side.
got you.
Yes. So it's gonna
Okay.
be
So
your
your twin
yin
flame
to
is
your
gonna
yang.
be so it's gonna be somebody. Okay, okay, the yin to your yang. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it has to
yeah.
be your twin flame represents you, but in the opposite nature.
Opposite nature. Absolutely. Your
Yeah.
reflection, like we
Okay.
mentioned,
Okay.
reflection in the opposite way. So you're your right hand, that's your left hand.
Right. I remember a episode of the Rugrats where it was talking about the mirror people. That's some
That's
other shit, but
funny.
that's
Uh-huh.
another episode. But
Uh-huh.
that's what it is. It's the mirror people. So you know whatever you are, it is that reflection. It's the other side.
Okay. Okay.
It's the good to your evil. It's the evil to
Mm-hmm.
your good. It's the man to
Absolutely.
your woman. It's the woman to your
Absolutely.
man. It's the up to
Absolutely.
your down to your up.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's the twin flame. It's okay, so that's so the
Absolutely.
characteristic. So one of the first characteristics of that is that always creates a passionate relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Got you.
Second one is your spiritual communion, your expansion spiritually. It's going to be a spiritual thing. It's always going to be spiritual. So one way or another, you're gonna elevate spiritually, not emotional, like corner minded, not money, nothing with people, nothing with children.
Mm-hmm.
Always a spiritual growth internally,
Mm-hmm.
internal spiritual growth. So some type of spiritual expansion this person is going to bring about, and you're going to grow spiritually with this person. So it's going to be a spiritual connection and a spiritual growth with this person. You're going to automatically know you guys are going to talk about spiritual stuff. You guys are going to go to church together. You guys are going to pray together. It's going to be some type of connection or some type of compatibility on a spiritual level. Like it's been people that I'm totally incompatible with spiritually, and I'm like, oh God, that definitely ain't my twin flame. I know, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
to know if
because
it
there's a
happens,
commonality there. So even though you're talking about
yes,
your difference, there's a there's an anchor, right? Because
yeah,
you looking in the mirror and and like I said, your right may be your left, but it's still you.
yeah, it's
So
still you. You
yeah,
still have values and morals and doctrines and philosophies that you still get agree upon.
yeah,
And
that's
this
inherent.
person
It's
gets
just
it. Yeah,
internally.
is
Yeah.
that exactly? And that person gets it on a different level. Like you be like, geez, how do you get that? How do I feel that connection with you? You will meet people that will identify and they won't get you on a spiritual level. They can't go deep with you. They can't they reject you, or they wouldn't even be interested in what your interests are spiritually. But then that's that one person that gets it so much, so well, and you guys like, God, this person gets me on a spiritual level. That's chemistry, spiritual chemistry, spiritual communion. That is the second thing. Um, thirdly, it is it's so many. I'm trying to figure out what's the best one out of all of them to identify as.
Mm-hmm.
I would say um
You would say.
transformation.
Mm.
Transformation with the spiritual expansion. So you
Okay.
will find yourself from a cocoon, a butterfly in a cocoon, a worm, and you become a butterfly with your twin. So
Okay.
you and your twin will come as in one and evolve as a butterfly. So at that point, you can say that you transformed. You know what I mean? So even if you don't marry your twin flame or your soulmate, you will still become a butterfly. You will still become spiritual. Like I believe that I found my twin flame in this lifetime because I became such a huge butterfly. I remember myself 5 years ago, and it was such a difference between who I am now and who I was after I met this person. This person
Got you.
spoke life into me and made me feel like I was just powerful.
Mm.
beyond my carnal mind and beyond what I was able to think at that point. But I did not end up marrying this person, but I still feel like we have a spiritual connection. No matter where I go in life, I still remember this person, and that person that connected with me on a level that I've never experienced before, ever.
With nobody else, and
No
even and then
one.
you kind of recognize that that's not,
Yeah,
you know,
it's unmatched. It's
yeah.
unmatched.
And I think this may be the easier one for this one, but what are those toxic traits? What are the
Toxic traits.
toxic things associated
Toxic
with the
traits
twin
is
flame?
extremes, highs, and lows. It will be going. It
Extreme highs
become
and lows. Yeah, them
that is
extremes, boy. Them
also
extremes is a
that is
motherfucker.
also, yeah, it will become unhealthy surroundings. Like, say for instance, your surrounding um will be like the family don't like you, or the if you come into a relationship with your twin, if they already have children, the children don't like you. It'll be toxic situations, like a work related situation. Something will be toxic. It will have toxicity, and it'll run cold and hot, just like a soulmate relationship can, because like I said, it's not always going to be someone that you marry, but it can be very well so someone that you marry. But it will run hot and low and hot and cold, because you're still also transforming. All of it is supposed to be evolution of your spirit. So you're also going to
Right.
be transforming. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so those are your toxic traits of a twin flame relationship, but it also feels so natural. It won't be hard and very, very inharmonious like the next one that we're going to talk about, which is a karmic relationship. One of
Well,
the
actually,
most
before we get to the
hardest.
karmic partners, you had life partners
Life
listed as
partners,
one.
yes. Okay,
So,
okay.
so
So
that one seems a bit more understandable. We kind of life
understandable.
partners. We figure what, but to get into that one briefly, so we can get into the deep one. We can go
The
off into
deep
the
one.
deep end.
Okay.
Let's touch on life partners real quick. How do you identify a life partner?
Life partners are very, very good. Life partners when you came whole with who you are, what you're meant to be, and what you're meant to do in this realm. So life partners are part your most harmonious relationship. It becomes natural. It becomes easy. The growth becomes easy. It feels like everything that you've learned and loved have brought you here to this person. Now, life partners is the person that you marry, is the person that you're meant to be with, is the person that no, without a
Now,
shadow of a doubt.
can your soulmate twin flame also be your life partner?
Absolutely,
Gotcha.
absolutely.
Okay, that makes it easy.
Because you have to know, and I want to give this disclaimer, you have to know this. You
Because I
have to
definitely
know
married
this.
my twin flame like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
I can definitely tell you this. I want to give this disclaimer, and I want people to understand this. It's
Yeah.
not about ending a relationship. I quote, it's not about ending a relationship, it's about ending a cycle and a karmic
Cycle.
path.
Mm.
So it's not about the ending of a relationship, it's
Niggas,
ending of an
listen.
inharmonious karma path. So it's about
Sisters
the
that
ending of
talk
a
in terms of cycles, be afraid.
It's just about ending
Be-
the cycle and the karma of the relationship. So once the karma has eradicated and dissipated from that relationship, then you can commence to having harmonious relationships through all of that. So it's about
Mhm,
ending the karma, ending the
mhm.
old baggage, become balancing it out, becoming whole again, self-love and loving yourself again. It's all about ending the karma and the cycle. It's not about ending the relationship. So all of those two relationships can end up in marriage or friendship or bliss, but you have to end the karma and the cycle, not the relationship. But sometimes on the path of growing and evolution of your contract, it may mean dissipating that person from off your trajectory. And that means that
Mhm.
that person will fade harmoniously into thin air and you won't even deal with that person ever again.
That's next level.
That's next
That's next
level.
level. Because a lot of times and I mean, and not to detract too far, because I also want to get into the key positive, or the benefits of what we get out of um life partners. But a lot of times, it's like we see any soul tie, and we think that any soul tie is everything, and it's like, nah, nigga, this shit got different roles, and
Yeah, it's different
yeah, I mean,
levels.
it's like a play. Everybody can,
Yeah.
everybody ain't the lead. You know what I mean? Like you can't, yeah. Like if you look at a movie, Yeah, you got your
Every
main
day.
characters, but a movie ain't
Absolutely.
a movie if you don't have extras. If you don't got
Absolutely. The
other people
extras
playing
are the
particular roles in the
people,
background
absolutely.
that
And the
create
extras are the soulmates, the twin flames, or the people that you really, really, really have to learn something from or to clear out old karma from. But they're not gonna be the leaders in the your life. It's gonna be those life partners, or either the twin flame that you're gonna grow from and elevate. But you also have so much to learn after you separate. You have so much to learn through life, through all your soul ties to connect you right back to that wholeness again,
beautiful.
which is your twin flame. So, life partners are the most harmonious one. That harmonious, it's deep, it's steady, it's consistent. It's the most consistent relationship you will have is with your life partner. You will know because the consistency of it, the willingness to try to make sure that this situation is good, and it won't be a pull and a tug in each direction. It'll be okay, we both doing this together. We both fighting it together. We both in it together because it can be challenging. All relationships are challenging, but the way you will know this one is more harmonious. You get along a lot better. You complete each other. You feel
You done
completed. You
found
feel
somebody that you could,
evolved.
you know what I'm saying? 'Cause usually if you spend too much time around the wrong person, it's like I can't do this. This motherfucker
Absolutely, your
is driving me
soul gets
crazy.
tired. Yeah, your soul grows
Your
tired.
soul, your metaphysical, your physical, all the shit is just like,
Yeah,
if I look at this
yeah,
motherfucker one more time.
yeah.
So that life partner is like, I can't stand to look at this motherfucker. Let me leave and come back, and I'll be ready to look at you again.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
that's clearly the
Absolutely.
benefits.
Yeah.
Is there any toxicity associated with
Absolutely.
life partners?
It's going to be toxicity in every relationship because every relationship is going to be beneficial to your growth. So no matter what, you're going to still be evolving with any type of relationship you're in. But with this one, you're going to be willing to work it out, work through it. It's not going to be any giving up. It's not going to be any, I don't want to deal with this anymore. You're going to want to continue it and stay in it because you know, for without a shadow of a doubt, you worked so hard and overcame so many soul ties to get to this completeness that you don't ever want to feel those things again. So you automatically know what you don't want and what you're willing to tolerate in this situation. So in this situation, both of you are working together simultaneously to make that union harmonious. So it's gonna be toxicity, but you're also gonna have this subconscious resonance into what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take, and how much you're willing to work at it. So you're both gonna be working at it together. It's not gonna be, oh, I'm doing that work, or oh, I feel like this person don't love me as much. It's going to be both of you guys in it together. And that's how you're going to know that this is your life partner. This is the person that you're supposed to do life with.
Okay. Now, last but definitely not least, this is the one I feel like that you have been waiting on. This is the one you wanna
I've
you
been
wanna
waiting
get
on it. Give me a
into.
drum roll.
Hold on.
I love that.
Look,
There
that
you
sounded
go.
like a helicopter, like a motherfucker.
That sound like
But let's get
helicopter.
into it. Let's get into it. We are
Let's get
now
into it. All right.
getting into the
Karmic
end, and we talking
partners.
about karmic partners.
Yes.
Karmic partners. Now we saved this one for the end specifically because teacher was like, "Listen, this is the one I gotta break down for these niggas."
I got to break down.
And when she said that,
Oftentimes
I was like, "Damn, I
people.
didn't even know she talked like that. That's crazy." Um, but so I
You
was
go
like, "Shit, well,
nuts.
we gonna throw this one at the end." But that means something though. Like when motherfuckers say last but not least, this is what we talking about. We talking about karmic partners. Go ahead and describe. Go ahead and talk to the people what a karmic partner is.
Well, karmatic partners. Oh man, a karmatic partner is someone that you had old baggage with in another lifetime that came into this lifetime to heal, to grow, to expand, to evolve, and to balance out the karma that happened in that life. So you might have wronged someone, and it don't have to be a love mate or intimate partner. It can be maybe you shot a guy or killed a guy in another lifetime, and that person came back and paralyzed you in this lifetime. Now,
Oh damn.
always know that a karmic partner is not only conducive to that situation, but it's conducive to something in your lifetime. It's going to expand you. So everything that you deal with in a karmic relationship is applicable to something else that's gonna make sense in your lifetime. So you get shot by that karmic partner, you become paralyzed, but then you come this big advocate, this rich big advocate for uh
Gun violence.
gun violence, I seen this guy, he's a gym rat now, and he's in a wheelchair, and he talks about
Like a
gun
health
violence.
and
He talk
fitness
about, yeah,
guru.
health and fit guru. It's so many different types of things that you're meant to do, but that karmic partner came back and shifted your life, that changed your life. So they're going to implement some type of change. So a karmic partner is always hard, it's always inharmonious, and it's always temporary. It's never, ever, ever, ever gonna be something that's gonna last forever. Just notice, any intimate situation is never gonna last forever. It's not. It's just no progression. It's stagnant. But it's on a corner level. It's hard. It's tumultuous. It's challenging. It's antagonizing. But on a spiritual level, a higher level, on a different realm, it's gonna balance you out. It's gonna grow you. It's gonna be lovely. It's gonna evolve you, and it's gonna be conducive and uh beneficial for something else in your life. So you're gonna
Hmm.
grow and expand on different levels. So
So,
yeah.
so when we talk about roles, um, this is one of those things to where this is when you talk about baggage. This is really that leftover. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, nigga, like you know what I'm saying. So like once you, so karmic partners don't play the role that like a soul tie or a soulmate or a twin flame. Like these people play specific roles. Like
Yeah, specific roles. Hmm.
you can't run from karma.
Yeah, they're
So
coming in your life. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. Yeah, you about to
With a
clarify because I was just about
karmic
to ask another
partner,
question.
yeah, a karmic partner come into your life because you have had some type of uh, contract with that person to enter into this life and to complete
I
that
think the way that
contract.
you using contract in this instance is extremely interesting.
Yeah,
Because like you
it
saying,
is.
because yeah, because when you talk about contract, it's like the engagement that we had as a people created this universal or this spiritual agreement that now has to be
Mhm.
fulfilled.
It's actually really true. Your soul have made contracts, said, okay, I'm gonna meet you in another lifetime, and we're gonna resolve this. It's like
We need we
somebody
need
getting
we need
into it at
soul
school.
lawyers. We need
Yeah,
soul
somebody
lawyers.
getting into you getting into an altercation at school, and you're like, after school, I'm gonna beat your ass. Meet me at the park on 39th Street. I'm gonna beat your ass after school. So your soul is basically meeting to resolve that, and you might get your ass
It's
kicked.
hard. Yeah.
They gonna meet you at that park. So your karmic partner gonna meet you at that park, and they may kick your ass. But guess what? After that, you're gonna go back in the gym. You're gonna learn how to fight. You might learn how to box, and then next time around, you're gonna have more strength and more understanding on what not to take and what not to accept. But also understand this: karmic partners is also teaching you self-love, to love yourself, to know what
Mm.
to accept, to what not to accept. So it's always coming evolvement, full evolvement with self love. And once you understand that, you will understand the cycle has completed. So a karmic partner is just a completion to here to complete a cycle. And once you know and identify that cycle is completed, it's because you love yourself enough to not tolerate anything that comes from that karmic relationship, or to
Mhm.
identify that you will never ever accept those type of behavior or treatments inside that relationship from nothing or no one else in this lifetime.
So we do have a question from the chat. Richard Hamilton Jr. asks, so a karmic partner is a third partner in a relationship?
Absolutely not. Karmic partner is, it can be, it can definitely be. Just let's just
But
say hypothetically,
it's not defined as a third wheel.
no, it's
But
not defined. But let's just say it's a third, it's a love triangle, for instance. A man and a woman is dating or they're married, and then there's another woman that's in she's a mistress of the situation. She comes
mhm,
in a relationship and the man impregnates her. And she causes all kinds of havoc for not only him, but also the wife. So you
mhm,
have soul contracts with different people, and you can, that husband and wife, if they were twin flames or soulmates, They can both share the same karmic partner. She can wreak havoc in their life. She can put the man on child support. She can do dirty, deceiving things to the woman. It can be a karmic partner. They both have to work together simultaneously to heal some portion of that woman, to make sure that they heal that karmic pattern or that cycle with that woman, to make
Yeah.
sure that it will never ever happen again. So it can be a third party in a sense. It can be, but it's not identified as a third party. It's just someone in your life that grows and evolves you, but it's never ever meant to actually last. It's never meant to
It has
actually
so
last.
so out, so out of all of them, the karmic partner has the most specific role.
Yeah, it has a more specific role. It
Like
has
the most,
well, all
yeah.
of them have a more specific role as far as what
But
they're
when
meant
I
to
say the
do.
most specific is like, for example, like twin flame, like they have a role because of who they are as your reflection.
Hmm.
The karmic partner is somebody that they have. It's like a uh let me use an appropriate analogy.
Hmm.
But it's that quick in and out, boom. Like,
Hmm.
this is what you need to know. This
Hmm.
is what you got. Oh, Richard Hamilton also say, okay, got you. Just jumped in the middle of the conversation. Glad you was able to learn something though, bro. We here. We here. You feel me?
So
And I'm glad it's a brother that's asking questions, so he know when that
exactly,
sister show up, and you like, damn, I fuck with her tough. But like everything about her existence is just kind of like,
kind
it's
of
kind of
messed
fucking
up.
shit up.
Kind of funky. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my thing, I want to get into that because I want to get into how to identify a karmic relationship, because I can tell you all the things that could come from it, but I want to let you know how to identify that you're actually, without a shadow of a doubt, in a karmic relationship, as opposed to all the other relationships you could be in, which is a soulmate, a life partner, or a twin flame. A karmic
Right.
relationship differentiates in so many different ways, and I want to give you some key components into how to identify a karmic relationship.
Let's get
So,
it.
all right, let's do it. So, karmic relationship will be one or multiple things that keep you there to attract you, but everything around it can be so inharmonious, so tumultuous, so challenging, so difficult, so antagonizing. So, it could be, say for instance, it could be very, very great passion. Um, but on it could be passionate, but it could be violent. It could be volatile. It could be tumultuous. It could be very, very extreme arguments and physical violence and things. But the sex can be so amazing you don't want to leave it. Or it could be a child involved that keeps you there. Or it could be the woman is good with the family, or the man is so cool with the family he don't want to leave. Or it could be money involved that, oh man, you guys have an empire together. You guys are so good together as far as financially, and it keeps you there, but everything around you is terrible. That is how you identify, because it could be those highs and lows are key component, but it's going to be one or multiple things that's going to keep going back, because it's very irresistible and it's very addictive. You're going to be enslaved to it almost,
Mm.
and it's going to feel like you gotta stick with it. Also, most of the time, a karmic relationship is the person that you want to marry, is the person that you want to spend the rest of life with, because internally, you know for a fact that you have shared a lifetime with this person or some type of connection with this person. So it's gonna make you feel like, man, this is my twin, this is my soulmate. But you know and understand how violent, how toxic it is, how hard it is, how challenging it is. You will start losing money. That's another way. You'll start losing
Ooh, don't start. Hey, listen,
friends.
we start fucking with a nigga pockets.
Yeah.
When you
You'll
start
start
fucking with a nigga
losing
pockets, it's a problem.
yeah, you'll start losing friends. You will start having inharmonious things at work. Your health will deteriorate. Um your your mindset and spiritual values will deteriorate. You won't feel upbeat and powerful. You will feel
Mm-hmm.
enslaved. You will feel like you're working so hard towards a situation, and it's never growing. It's never progressing. It's just stagnant. It will never grow. And you will feel like you continually the same cycle over and over again. So it runs high and low. It runs hot and cold. So you guys will not speak for months, and then you come back and you would think it's changed. It's still the same behavior, still the same thing. When your soul identifies this thing, it's going to regurgitate the same thing over and over again. So, case in point, it may be very, very disrespectful in so many different ways, but it's going to be one thing that your soul is going to identify with that's disrespectful. So, it may be the person calls you names, or the person make you lose money, or the person feels like they're using you in some way, like, oh, for sex, for money, for knowledge, for your resources in certain things in area like real estate, or you might be a health guru and you might know some things, but this person might be sucking out of you. It feels like they're just sucking and pulling from you.
So it's like when you feeling that, it's like when you feeling that take. It's like everything is just take.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be pulling from you, is never feeding into you. That's a karmic relationship. All the other relationships is elevating, growing you. This is deteriorating you. It's destructing you. It's making you feel like it. So those things is what your soul is going to get tired of. And it's going to regurgitate. It's going to repeat over and over and over again until you reach the point where you say, I no longer want this for myself. And at that point, you have completed the cycle and you discipline it, and you can free yourself from that karmic pattern and that cycle. You have completed it. When your soul can let go, when you pray to let go of all those things, you have completed it. So when your soul say, I can no longer take the disrespect from your mom, I can no longer take you calling me names, or I can no longer take you making me lose money, I can no longer take to be enslaved to this. I feel stressed, I feel down, I feel off all the time. My pH balance is going off, my health is deteriorating, I've
acidity
lost
is out.
friends,
The
and
acidity is out. A little bit more acidic than it's supposed to be.
Absolutely. So that is when you have completed the cycle of the karmic relationship. When you're praying that relationship off and you genuinely want it to be over, that's when the universe and God conspires to that relationship and say, you have completed this. Now you can elevate to the next
Your
level.
contractual obligation has been satisfied. You are good to go.
You're good to go. So when you no longer can take that, when you love yourself enough, to dig deep in yourself and say, I will no longer tolerate this person and this pattern and this cycle to happen in my life again. I will no longer do it. And you completely let go of all the energy. You disembody all the energies from that situation. You have completed the contract subconsciously, superconsciously, and to your higher self. You have completed and obliterated that situation, and you're now ready to elevate. And once you ascend, the super ascension from that situation will bring about so many situations that happen. Once you let go, I'm talking about energetically let go. I'm not talking about physically let go. Oh, you guys broke up, because that is the pattern. You guys will break up, make up, break up for as long as you allow it.
Wake up to make up.
Absolutely. So once you continue, once you let it go, once you say, I no longer am energetically connected to this person. At that
I'm cutting I'm cutting my essence off from that. And it's not that I'm just saying, it's not that I'm trying to convince myself that I'm leaving that motherfucker alone. I'm actually cutting the energy of thought. All that, I'm cutting all of that off. That's when you've resolved that karmic relationship.
Absolutely. And I feel like the quality of life is directly tied to the degree of which how much you love yourself. So it depends on how much you love yourself and how much you're willing to accept on how you end that contract. So if you don't love yourself, because it's all, like I said before, it's all coming back to loving yourself and self-love. That's what it's coming back home to, because you have so many types of distractions and infractions that happens in your life throughout your lifetime, through soul patterns, through life, through traumas, through abandonments, through all kinds of things that happen to you. You lose sight of loving yourself. So once you figure out how much you love yourself and you really, really love yourself, you won't tolerate that situation no more. And you will grow from that. And that's how you break a karmic partner's cycle. That is how you break it. And that person will go and you will never talk to that person again. And then the elevation from that situation will be so surreal. You will learn so much and have so many things coming at you after that cycle has ended, because after you freed yourself from that bondage so much that all your blessings will start pouring in now. All your blessings will start pouring in. But you can have many karmic partners too.
Yeah, because you just been fucking up throughout your soul, just a fuck up soul.
Yeah, because your
That's all
soul
you
was
just
experimenting and experiencing. So it's gonna fuck up. You're gonna
yeah,
have
your car that
mistakes.
karma company. And I
Yeah.
think this is the more we actually because what I loved about this show is like I feel like this is really you showcasing that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? For like the people that was able to tune in and was able to catch the game. Um this is because I think we when it comes to these soul ties, I think we need to do a show on each one, kind of getting more into depth
Yeah, I think
about
so.
the impact of these things because I feel like we kind of just briefly touched on them and like we about to hit an
Mhm.
hour and 15 since we've been on, but we've only really just been scratching the surface of
We
all of these for
definitely
real.
scratched the surface. I think all of them are very it's very imperative that we do touch on all of them on a show, like or each show, like we have 4 different shows on 4 different ones because
On
it's
four
so
different times.
much.
And look,
Yeah,
because for a lot of you motherfuckers, if I'm being 100% honest, this will help y'all kind of know, like, hey, leave that nigga alone.
exactly. It will help
I mean, you
you
know what? I be doing
literally.
at the sisters. I be doing at the sisters, but brothers, like a lot of times, I mean, hell, we don't even know. We don't even need to be go through multiple cycles to get our karma.
Right. And
Shit.
and and, and
We could create
also,
karmic partners just off our rebound. Chick could be a karmic
yes,
partner because you fucked up your last relationship. Now,
absolutely.
so and it was you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so now you got the chick. I'm like, oh yeah, she the one. And then she do you that. That's
She do.
you know what I'm
She's the
saying? Like
person
that.
that's
Like
supposed to come
you
in and
end up
get
feeling
you.
right,
Absolutely.
right. It's like
You
because
can
I think
have
one of
that.
a crazy phrase that I always thought was that really helped me in relationships was some people come in your life for a reason,
Hmm.
some come for a season, some come for a lifetime.
Lifetime.
You know what I mean? You got
Absolutely.
those, you got your life partners for that lifetime, that
Absolutely.
season, you know what I'm saying? You got your
There we,
soulmates, and
mhm.
then that reason is your karmic partners.
There we
You
go.
know what I
That
mean?
is
So
so, yes, that is
yeah,
exactly what that is.
because
And
I've heard
also,
that phrase, but I never understood it. Like I
hmm,
was like, what does that mean? But that comes from
absolutely.
a deeper science of understanding
It does.
relationships, the people that's
Hmm.
in your life. Because a lot of
Hmm.
times is we have these strong feelings and we associate strong feelings with this desire to like maintain that feeling. But
Absolutely.
sometimes that strong feeling, the act of cutting that feeling off, is what's needed for you to kind of grow to that next level and
Absolutely.
knowing what you're dealing with. Like I think I lucked up with my wife because I mean even just kind of whether we talking about her pregnancy, um I appreciate you, Richard Hamilton, for tuning in, bro. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel too and follow the
Absolutely.
page on Facebook, the Over 30 Podcast. Um, but my with my wife, I feel like I ran into my soulmate slash twin flame. She
Hmm.
was scared because she was like twin flames. They don't always they're not always soulmates. So she was thinking, well, maybe
Hmm.
we don't work out type shit.
Hmm.
But not only do I see see myself in her in a lot of different ways, it's also easy. And it's
Hmm.
that
Absolutely.
like and that so I feel like that's where when you say it's a little bit of both of them, it's like, oh yeah, because with her, I ain't gonna lie, I I in my youth, you know what I mean? I ain't even gonna speak to the type of nigga I was when I was a lot younger.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
you
you're gonna
can
meet a
smile,
lot of
girl.
soulmates that's gonna help you out on your growth to that person that you're meant to be with. So
Yeah.
it's gonna
But
be
but
so many people that help you.
when I ran into her, it was like, oh, I ain't about to fuck this one up.
Yeah,
You
your
know what I mean?
soul is gonna that's what I was telling you. It's gonna be like you're gonna try. That's what I was meaning. Like you're gonna want to try. You're gonna want to do right no matter what. That karmic partner is you're gonna feel like it's more of a, oh, you're gonna argue and fight about the same thing. You're gonna
It's
be
a
pushing the
drain.
same buttons.
Yeah,
It's a drain. It's not, no one's trying and fight
yeah,
this constant battle of why this won't work or you don't understand it. And things will happen. Like so many things would divinely happen. Like spirit
yeah.
will say, this is not meant to be. I'm telling you. So it's like things that I remember I met my karmic partner, and I'm gonna tell you this funny story. I met my karmic partner. It was exactly, mind you, this was years ago, but this what made me research because it will make you want to learn about all the things of life because
Mhm.
it will be so antagonizing. You have no reason why not to want to research or why this is so hard. So I researched. Now, mind you, me and this person, we were going through the motions of this karmic cycle and all
Mm-hmm.
the things that comes with it. And it was so hard. I'm talking about tears, heartache, pain, draining, feeling, losing money, losing friends, health issues, all the things that come with it. It was happening. All the
Mm-hmm.
things that can be so inharmonious, it would happen. I'm talking about the disrespect was on another level. But
Crazy.
sex and passion kept me coming back. It
Blew
kept
you
him
back out.
coming back. Yes, kept him coming back. So it was so amazing in that aspect. And we had chemistry of some sort in there. So we knew we had chemistry, and I knew I identified with this man from another lifetime because when I first met him, I said, "That's my husband." I immediately said that. But first meeting, I didn't tell him that, but my spirit said that, and
Hey,
I was
brothers, sisters be saying that. They be plotting on
yeah,
niggas from the get go.
absolutely,
Like you think,
absolutely,
oh
because your
yeah,
spirit.
she just cool little shot it. Like nah, nigga. She says you was her husband from the get
Her
go. Even
spirit,
though you
her
wasn't her
spirit,
husband, you was her karmic
and
partner.
his
Clearly,
spirit. Yeah, and
yeah,
clearly it was supposed to be me that wrapped up in that person to get the pattern, to go through the cycle, to understand what I needed to understand, and to heal that person or that person heal me or heal
yeah.
something in me. But anyway, we're dealing with each other, and I remember one day I sent this long message to this person. It was a long message, right? And I sent it, and
In them
the person
paragraphs.
didn't respond. The person did not respond, right?
Mm-hmm.
So about, I don't know, 2 weeks later, I'm talking to this person. Mind you, we went 2 weeks without talking. And I sent this message. And I'm like, all right, whatever, forget it. I'm very stubborn, so I'm like, I don't care, forget you. But in my heart of hearts, I'm like, fuck, he ain't your son. So I I literally was talking to this guy one morning. He just texted me out of the blue. And I'm like, oh, what's up? What's going on? So we was talking. It was a harmonious conversation. I remember I was car shopping. I was looking for a car and I was talking to him about car shopping. We was just having fun. Kicking
Yeah.
it. It wasn't like nothing happened because that's oftentimes in a karmic relationship, you'll pick back up where you left off like nothing happened. It was like, we ain't even talked about this. Like, we ain't
Yeah.
talking about the shit that just transpired. But anyway, I'm talking to this person. We're having a lovely time. It was cool. Everything, the energy was good. All of a sudden, this
Shout
person
out to the
texts me.
homie Chris Harris in the building.
All of a sudden, the person texts me, "Why are you sending me all this stuff? What the hell is your problem?" And I said, "What are you talking about? Why are you sending me these long books of this stuff?" I was like, "What are you meaning? Why I'm not sending you anything?" So the messages that I sent 2 weeks ago start showing up on his phone that he'd never received, but it starts
Like,
showing up in there.
yeah.
That is spirit. I said, oh my God. He was like, you saying all of this? And he was saying what I sent him 2 weeks ago. And it was showing up in his phone. He was like, you didn't just say that to me. And I was like, I did not. I swear to God, I sent that 2 weeks ago. What are you meaning? And then he was saying the things, and I said, oh my, it blew I had chills. It was crazy how everything was showing up that this is not the relationship you're supposed to be.
So you saying that that effortless the effortless connection that y'all was creating, it it was reconnecting, but because this was a karmic partner, the universe made it to where you were reminded,
Yeah,
nah,
that
sit your
this is
ass
not
down.
gonna, yeah. I was
Yeah,
reminded that this situation this is not your husband. This is not the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. This is the person
don't
that's
get
going to teach
comfortable.
you.
That
Yeah,
that contract is
and
done.
yes,
You gotta
and
move
you're
on.
gonna exactly, and it's gonna be so many divine forces that's gonna play a huge role into this karmic relationship because it's gonna show you and bring out the best in you and make you love yourself. That person never gave me validation, never told me I was beautiful. I had to constantly and subconsciously give that to myself to the point where after that relationship, I loved myself so much. I said, no one needs to tell me I'm beautiful. I know I'm
Yeah,
beautiful. No one,
'cause
because that
you was
person never
reminded.
gave it to me, and
Yeah, yeah. He was
exactly.
reminded that it was you. Like
Exactly.
he
That
was brought
person,
there to show you that you
right.
need to love you. You're not gonna get it from nobody else.
Exactly. And I always wonder, what did I learn from this person? And after the fact, in hindsight, I'm like, I learned to love myself. I learned to tell myself I'm beautiful. This, because you're gonna yearn for this person to tell you everything, and they're not gonna do it. It's like they're gonna be angry with you subconsciously, and they don't even know why. But it's like a subconscious anger or energy, negative energy your way all the time, like irritation, aggravation, twitch, and you don't know why. But that person, you're going to yearn for that person to treat you right because you're going to tell yourself, this is the person I want to be with. Why can't they tell me? Why can't they show me everything that I want and desire in my heart of hearts? They're not going to do it because guess what? Through that process, you're going to be giving it to yourself so much, you're going to end up loving yourself. Like, damn, when it comes full circle, I end up loving myself because I had to tell myself I was beautiful because he wouldn't. And I wanted
Yeah.
him to. I had to tell myself that I love myself. I have to motivate myself in that process of building my business because he didn't. He didn't show up for me. So I had
And
to
you know what?
constantly feed that to myself to the point where I love myself.
Now, one, that's beautiful because, like, I mean, that's always a lesson that everybody need to pick up on. But I think what's even bigger in what you just described
Absolutely.
was that karma isn't like resolving your karma isn't a punishment.
No,
Even
it's
though
not.
even though resolving karma can mean that you go through a negative emotion or you go
Mhm.
through, something that you wouldn't want to, but resolving karma is actually best for you as a person, right? Like
Exactly.
whether it's weight
Exactly.
lifted and
Hmm.
whether it's weight lifted or lesson learned or
Hmm.
something, but what you're doing is you are um that uncomfortability,
Purging.
even if you have to suffer that negative karma, that uncomfortability always leads to growth.
Mhm.
What we
Yes.
always know is that what that that complacency it breeds mediocrity, right? When we kind of
Absolutely.
just sit in what in what we think and what we know, you got to go through resolving particular aspects of karma in order to become
Mhm.
just better. You know what I mean, right? Like if you
Yes.
break a bone, or if you heal
Hmm.
yourself, or if you injure yourself in
Hmm.
any capacity, you're going to see the reflection of the injury, but you learn
Absolutely.
how not to engage in those types of
Absolutely.
in that type of behavior. It's like burning
Exactly
yourself.
what not to accept.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
once you burn
I
yourself, you
always
gonna see.
say, uh, you're going to evolve. It's going to ascend to another level. I always say, don't focus or situate so much on that relationship as opposed to the growth of a relationship. So, no, if you are meant to, say for instance, you're meant to be this famous philosopher or this musician or this, I don't know, a basketball player or Oprah Winfrey or the president of the United States, that karmatic situation is probably the driving force of that situation. So this situation is also conducive to this situation. So don't think that the karmic situation is accentuated on that and it's just clearing old baggage and oh, this person is only here to hurt me. No, it's not for that. It's for you to grow and expand and to purge yourself of old patterns that you did and old things that you did and actually show you your dark side of your soul. So it will have you doing things you never ever did before as far as negative thinking. And it actually makes sure that you will never do this again because it's going to bring out all the things that you've done, purge you of
Mhm.
all the things that you've done and bring out that negative thing. And guess what? You're going to write a perfect song because you have in your cards or in your birth chart, you have writing abilities
Mm.
and you become this famous musician based off this karmic situation or you
Based off
become
these
you
experience,
write
yeah.
this book and you become this famous author based off this karmic situation because you wrote about it or
Yeah,
you a philosopher so you can teach people about
right,
these things and life
right.
happenings and life
You
problems.
end
You
up
become this
creating.
famous face. Yeah,
No, yeah,
so
go
many
ahead.
things can propel it, be propelled from that. It's a ripple
Yeah,
effect. So it's always conducive to your life. It's not accentuated on this situation and it's not accentuated on hurting you in this lifetime because you hurt them. It's always to cleanse you, to deep cleanse you of whatever you were dealing with internally. It's internally, spiritual wise. You had this in your spirit and that person brung it out of you. You also healed them simultaneously in the process. And also you applied it to whatever you meant to be in this world. So you're going to ascend to another level and also apply whatever you learn from this karmatic situation to your life and what you're meant to be in this dimension, on this realm, in this lifetime. So when
right.
you deal with that, you're going to deal with something greater that's going to be applicable to everything that you dealt with that karmic relationship. That person just grew you, and you also, and that person subconsciously and spiritually learned something as well, and they probably heal or they may not heal. If indeed you don't heal a karmic relationship, they can show up in another
It's gonna
lifetime.
come back on your ass. It's gonna come back on your
I'm
ass.
back.
That's why I
You might
resolve
not
that.
deal with it. You might end in harmoniously in this lifetime, and maybe that person can dissipate off your trajectory in this lifetime, but then it pick back up in another lifetime. You're gonna meet that person again. Like
Yeah.
Erica Badu says, see you next lifetime.
You know, and we played and we was just jamming, not thinking that she was on the next level. She was
She
on the next.
was, because she
Really, that's all.
knew that
That song is
person.
what I've been thinking about as we've had this
Yes,
conversation. It's like
that
you got
song is
people, and
so
it's like,
deep.
damn, I fuck with you, but this
Yes,
ain't the time. Like
this ain't the
next
time.
lifetime. That's big.
Yes.
That's big.
Erica Badu know transition. She know a soulmate. She know twin flame. She understands that she knew she was dealing with maybe a soul tie or a karmic partner at that time, but in the next
Mm,
lifetime, that person could very well be her life partner
her life partner. That's
because
big.
they
That's
had such
big.
a deep connection. Yes,
That's
that
big. I
person may
mean,
very well be someone she married in another lifetime, and she knew in that song she was speaking of "see you next lifetime," meaning that we're meant to be together, but
Just
not
just
right
not
now.
right now. Yeah, that life partner, soulmate, twin
Absolutely.
flame. So yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, hey, so
Absolutely.
if y'all wasn't, I mean, we got a few people that came in. Shout out to Consul, shout out to Chris, Melvin, my dog, Solar Vision Debate League. Shout out to y'all. Uh, I mean, for everybody that missed it, we went over soulmates, we went over twin flames, we went over life partners, and then we just capped it off with karmic partners. We're gonna have to do for the show, Tisha. We're gonna have to do like whole episodes dedicated to this information. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we could keep going for
Absolutely.
the
I
with
think
this
it's
car
really
specifically with the
like,
karmic partners.
yeah,
But
oh
what I think,
man, it's so much.
what I definitely want to sit in though is I definitely want to sit in that conversation of soulmate. I want to sit in that conversation a little bit more, and I want to sit on that conversation of twin flames a little bit more. The life partners are the one that's easier to
Mhm.
understand because it's easier to identify.
Absolutely.
That's the part. Like it's like you said, it's the person you
It's the
marry.
most
Well,
harmonious.
you can't
Hmm.
really say the person you marry because motherfuckers be married for all the 6 months. But it's that person that when you say I could spend the rest of my
Yep,
life with you. Yeah, I mean that the person that you end up spending the rest of your life with, that's your life
absolutely.
partner. And that could be your life partner for this
Absolutely.
life,
And I
and
understand.
it could switch in that next lifetime. So I
Absolutely.
definitely want to spend some more time. Next week we need to figure out because we're gonna be starting a new month, so
Hmm.
we need to be figuring out a guest for next month, and
Hmm.
which one of these shows we're gonna get into more so
Okay.
because like I said, I think this is really you showcasing what you're good at, and as the over 30
Absolutely.
holistic expert, I think this is more what people need in terms of understanding these things, really, because what we need to be doing is we need to be giving relationship advice in context of this conversation, in the context of soul
Absolutely.
ties, because people
Absolutely.
end up being in these relationships and the strong emotions and the strong feelings associated
Destructive.
with these soul ties,
Absolutely.
people confuse, and that's the problem.
People
You know what I mean?
also confuse the fact that they're supposed to find their soulmate in a particular lifetime. So, say for instance, you're here on this realm and this dimension, and you're connected to all these people, and you're living having this experience right now. You think
Mm,
that your soul is supposed to meet your life partner, or soulmate in this lifetime. That's not true. You
that's not
like
all
Oprah,
true.
for
Yeah,
instance, she might not meet her life partner in this lifetime, but she may meet him some other lifetime. So you have a contract to fulfill something probably greater than that. You might be supposed to do business things here. You might supposed to, I don't know, maybe necessarily be a mogul in some other area. You might not supposed to have a love life in this lifetime. Maybe will deal with love on some level, but you won't
but
deal with
with
love.
that
You might not
whole
deal with love in this
marry,
lifetime.
yeah, 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 that's
Absolutely,
that's a lot deeper.
absolutely.
But we're gonna get into that. Natisha, I know you had a closing that you wanted to do
Yeah,
specifically for this, so go ahead and get into your closing, and we'll go ahead
absolutely.
and we go ahead and cap this one off.
All right. So, yeah, all right. So, in closing, I want to say first and foremost that in order to prevent and stop cycles, you need to first be in perfect alignment and total alignment to who you are. And to do that, you should seek out people with their special gifts and special powers. Myself, I'm a spiritual life coach. I can identify things inside of you and give you information about who you are and help you reach your full potential and put yourself in total alignment with who you're meant to be, so you can identify certain things like your morals or values, situations that you're in love cycles and karmic partners that you're enduring and encountering in this lifetime to prevent those cycles. So you might encounter a karmic partner and you don't have to go through years and years and years of a cycle because you identify the traits and the characteristics and components of that relationship head on because you had someone that can identify it for you so you can know and compare and contrast what this relationship is. So further for the record, I just want to say that I do deal with that as a life coach. So I am able to help you. And also, I want to leave you with this: life is like a race car driver. It is if a race car driver was on a racetrack and the track was straight, it would be completely boring. It is the community and the competitiveness of the people around you and all the soul ties that you deal with around you. Like a race car driver, they're racing, so they're dealing with other people around them that's connected with that person to meet a certain level in life. And it's the twists and turns on that track that makes it more exploiting or experiencing or more fun or more lovely. Because if you live the straight journey in life, you wouldn't be, it would be boring. So it's some
Yeah.
twists and turns on that track that makes it more fun, more
Right.
worth it. And also remember we're souls playing roles. We're having a human experience, and
Souls
we're
playing
just all
roles.
here to experience and all here to learn. Souls playing roles. So you're nothing everyone says you are, but you're everything you think you are.
That's dope. Now again, if y'all don't know already, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Over 30 Podcast on YouTube. Also, if you watching us on Facebook, make sure you like and follow the page, the Over 30 Podcast on Facebook. You can find me, Damo, at the Political Plug on all social media. Also, you can find me on Mondays at the Chop Up Show. Tisha, you can find her at Infinite Omniscience. Google if you don't know how to spell that. Infinite Omniscience at on Instagram, Facebook, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Infinite Omniscient on Instagram and Infinite Stars Holistic Healing, Spiritual Life Coach on all social media platforms, and Infinite Stars Incorporation on all social media platforms is my youth educational, special educational program. I also am an educator for youth with special education as well as a life coach and a holistic expert. So get at me on there. We lit.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, y'all stay tuned next month. Or and actually, no, today the first, right? I'm tripping. I keep saying next month. Today is December 1st.
Today is the first. I know.
Today is
Yeah,
December
yeah,
1st.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so this month we will be reading we'll be getting our natal charts read in. So if you want to find out more of the science of self,
Absolutely.
as I like to call it, then make sure y'all tap in for that. Make sure just like you said, make sure you got that birthday and time of birth. That's what you need to know. If you want to know the science of
Yes.
self, make sure you
Birth,
get that time of birth.
date,
But it's
place, and time.
yes, yes, yes. And so glad for everybody that was able to tune in, be a part of the broadcast. Hopefully, you learned something. We will be getting deeper into this information because this is the science of life itself. Yeah, I mean, I don't even like calling it a
All
pseudoscience because it's a
knowing.
little deeper than the
Absolutely.
human understanding. Yeah, I mean, this
It is.
transcends the physical. This is what we call the
Absolutely.
metaphysical. And if you're trying to get into the metaphysical,
Absolutely.
like we get into
You're trying to get in the metaphysical. I am so sorry, people. It seems like maybe his camera went off. But anyway, if you're trying to get into metaphysical, I am.
hold on, why my shit died, my computer
There
died, but
you
I just
go.
hopped back on.
Oh, gotcha.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I was finishing it up. I was wrapping it up. If you yeah, you want to deep into the metaphysical, this is your podcast. This is what you're looking for. We get deep. We hit all the roots. We hit all the things that people don't talk about. The things that's deep within the universe. We talk about all of those things. All of your soul awakenings and your spiritual journeys that you're gonna go through. We talk about them. Being a
So
spiritual being.
yeah, so if you're trying to get into that spiritual shit, that's what we own. This is the Over 30 Podcast, and we out.
Yeah.
And